The next person that we're going to hear from is from Delta College. We invited Delta College here to talk a little bit about some of their programs, and we're really excited to have Delta College right here in Mountain House.
Right there.
Oh, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the PowerPoints should be almost ready.
Just 1 second.
Anyway, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dave Thomas. I'm with San Joaquin Delta College, and I have some exciting news to share with you. I'm a professor at Delta College in electrical and solar technology. With me, let me introduce my dean, Jillian Murphy, in the back there. She's handing out some handouts. She is the Dean of Applied Science, Business and Technology. So. Okay. And so the news that I want to give you, just we were committed a few years ago in starting a solar and alternative energies program. And I have good news that we are kicking off our program. It's going to be the Solar Technology Program at the South Campus. Out here at Mountain House, and we are solar program. And then the one that's got today's the last one at the bottom. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay. So if you could, or I have control here.
I took that out.
You know, I teach for a living, you realize that. I am an academic. One thing is, I've been talking for about 6 hours, I'd say, today. I had classes from 8 o'clock on, so I could go on, but I know I only have about a few minutes. Oh, you have the control? Okay. So if you could go to the next slide here. One thing about the solar market, I know there's a lot of mixed information out there, but one thing I can emphasize is their growth rate. And actually, California being one of the top regions for growth, we top basically, when we compare the growth rates by state, we top in installations of photovoltaics and solar, basically in residential, non-residential, and utility sectors, which means that California leads all other states when it comes to solar installations. And we see a big commitment from the utility districts in regards to expanding that renewable energy source. Now, there is one of our jobs is to prepare our workforce, our students for the workforce, and that's kind of the reason why our program came about. There is a big demand now for skilled workers that have the skills necessary to do the solar installations, which is not necessarily only going on top of people's roofs and knocking holes on the roof, but it also involves, there's a lot of technical information, electrical knowledge, codes, and a lot of other issues that they have to address and learn about. If we could change it, please. Now the sector is made up of different segments, and so it's not just about installation on roofs. There's also a research and development area of growth. We see some companies actually in the Bay Area and spread out throughout California and also the rest of the world, but it's not primarily strategically located within California, within this region. But this just to give you an idea of some of the other areas that are areas of the segments, which are manufacturing, construction of solar power plants. We do have a couple projects. Rio Vista up in Sacramento, South Sac, that SMUD is committed to. Also PG&E is committed on doing some solar farms. There's also there's operation of solar power plants and solar power installation, which is usually what most people associate with solar installations. And also there are sales and design, and there are more than sales. They're more like technical sales, and so they're not your retail sales type jobs out there. They require the technical knowledge and design portion. So our job and our commitment is to prepare the students for the workforce. And we are starting our classes here in January 21st. I think Dean Murphy went ahead and handed out the class announcements. So that is kicking out here at Mountain House. We are emphasizing the electrical technology at the core, and because solar involves a lot of electrical knowledge, we're involving, I'll show you the classwork, how it's going to break down. The emphasis will be also in electrical / solar. One thing that's important is to allow our students to be able to transition in and out of college that's necessary if they go out in the workforce, to be able to upgrade their skills, and to come back to school, upgrade their skills. So everything's been designed on this concept of stackable type certificates. And most of the classes are transferable to the CSU system, so that is also another option that the students would be able to transfer to a four-year college if they chose to. Okay. So the courses, most of these courses will be offered out here at Mountain House. The top ones are going to be the one starting out, actually coming up in January, is going to be the Intro to Solar PV Fundamentals. It is a very basic class that starts out with the electrical fundamentals, and we go into the industry and we talk about all the different fun stuff like charge controllers and inverters and all the fun stuff, which I don't know how many technical people we have here, but I'm trying to stay away from all the technical terms here. But it is kind of fun. That's the whole thing, is the class is there to teach you and to go over all these topics here. Also, the industry has asked for OSHA background to be able to work in these environments in a safe manner. We do include OSHA construction safety standards in there. We include electrical wiring and other things like that. So it's pretty in depth. The program actually was designed for a one-year turnaround. You would start the first two classes on the left would start in one semester, then you would transition to the following semester, be taking the advanced solar photovoltaics class and the electrical wiring, and then finish off with the other two. And the last two, I'm looking at putting them online to facilitate students that are already working out there to be able to also gain the experience, do an internship possibly, or do an apprenticeship, and also to be completing the certificate at that point. And so the stackable portion is the natural transition to go from installation would be to go to either technical sales, design, management, start working in operations in these solar companies. So this is the stackable portion where they could come back to school, work on getting their AutoCAD to learn how to use it. Most of the designs in AutoCAD. And then finish up with a design project. One of the fun things about the last class here on the bottom, the solar photovoltaic design class, is that they actually have to design a permit-ready complete set of drawings that you would submit to the building department for approval on a residential, or if they chose a light commercial type project. And that's kind of a fun final project. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and go to the next one here. And just a brief overview of we do go over hand and power tools. We do analyze all the different components involved in the solar PV system. We do estimate power outputs and estimate sizes, and also do wind loads, capacity, the actual loads. I know that's always a concern. Here's a windy area, so our wind load, we have to calculate how to properly, design and be able to install these so that the wind won't be an issue. Calculating all our wires, conduits per the codes, national electrical codes, and local codes and regulations. And so anyway, that's to give you a basic overview. There's more to it. We did run a prototype class here with the intro to the beginning class, the one that's starting up. We ran a class about a year ago. And these are some of the pictures from the class. We have these mock-up small training units just to get them started on understanding how these systems work. Eventually, what we're doing with the next class, we do a full-scale system installation out here at South Campus. And just to emphasize, I've always been, I have to emphasize the fact that in our high schools, if you guys are recommending your children to come to this, your kids, or if you're thinking about either starting a new career, or if you're looking at a lateral transition where you already have an occupation but you're looking at possibly crossing over into a new field. And we see a lot of people, engineers that are crossing over laterally or crossing over into a new job, that in high school, especially for your students or for your younger people, that there's some things that are really important that need to be emphasized in the school system, which means mathematics, energy fundamentals, science, AutoCAD, and that's the stuff that they can be preparing while they're in high school. I know there's some really good schools out here. I've had some students from out here, and I'm going to tell you, I've been very impressed with this area with Mountain House. They have a very depth of knowledge, and I'm kind of familiar with this area because I actually grew up in Livermore, right across the other way before this area was even developed. And I remember, and it's nice to see how this has grown here. And the students are doing excellent out at the Stockton campus and also at South Campus. Anyway, so that's basically, let's go ahead and I think we're going to finish it off here. So I just wanted to introduce the program and say that we are proud to be able to start this program out here at South Campus, and we are committed to running this program and hopefully expanding the curriculum with time. And there are other programs that are coming up. For example, we are starting a new engineering technology class that's an AutoCAD class out here in January, and we're starting that program out here. So there's a lot of good things coming out here, and you should be very proud of having this campus here, and also your communities. This is the first time I've actually participated in this community meeting, but I was pretty impressed with what I saw up here, especially with some of the environmental design stuff that you guys are doing out here. So thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you, Delta College and Professor Thomas. And we'd love to have Delta College be part of our community meetings more in the future, telling about other programs and things that are going on at the college, because we feel that Delta College is a key and important part of the Mountain House community. Next, but certainly not least, Mr. Sargent from Shea Homes. From Shea Mountain House.
Great, thanks, Jan. My name's where's Donner? My name's Dave Sargent. I work for Shea Homes, and I work for Shea Mountain House LLC as well. And I'm here tonight to give everyone an update about the development status of the community. So I'm just going to run through kind of the residential stuff, and eventually at the end I'll get to the town center. Start with just kind of where things are. This isn't actually one of the neighborhoods that Shea Mountain House did. This is Altamont, what Trimark did. But what's interesting is Altamont's basically done. There's all the permits have been pulled for Altamont, and I was out with one of the sales offices earlier today, and I guess they have just like 12 houses left to sell in Altamont, and then at least all the single family done. So that's good. And then we're humming along in the Cuesta neighborhood. It's really filling in. All of the lots are now sold to home builders. So last time I was up here, there were still almost a couple hundred lots that Shea Mountain House still owned that hadn't sold. But actually, Shea Homes has now come in and bought the two tracks, where it's mostly white down there on the left. So it's all spoken for, and it'll probably be built out in another year or so. So then this is neighborhood C. So with Cuesta all sold out, we need to refresh the supply of lots for more builders to keep all the development going. And so our next neighborhood is neighborhood C. Some of you may have seen the construction going on down there. So it's approximately 1,000 single-family homes. And just like the other neighborhoods, it's got a 5-acre neighborhood park and a 16-acre school site. which you can see there in the middle. And if you go to the next slide, this is kind of hard to see, it's pretty dark, but this is just an aerial picture of Neighborhood C. And the area that we're working in first was phase 1, and that's all the streets are in there, and we're going to get some builders in there soon. And then more recently, in the last few weeks, we've been doing the grading on phase 2. And so that goes all the way down to Grant Line Road. And then the next slide. Okay, let's see. I'm blanking on his name. Who's the guy who does the area?
Steve Wilhite.
Steve Wilhite, yeah. So these photos are courtesy of Steve Wilhite. So these are some aerial pictures from, I mean, these are probably a few, like 4 or 5 weeks old, but you can see some of the grading. You can see the phase 1 of Neighborhood C. Those are all the streets. So there's about 500 lots out there that are paved now and ready to go. And some more pictures. You can see all the equipment there. They're kind of parked on a future park site. And that's actually looking south. You can see the Delta College. You can see Grant Line Road. And okay, so moving in. So we've actually put a lot of these houses or lots out on market, and we had a really good response from the market. A lot of home builders want to be out here, and so we actually we're negotiating contracts right now with 4 home builders, and so hopefully so we're hoping that they'll close on these lots in December, and then they'll probably see some new model homes going up there in the spring. So let's see what's on the next slide. Okay, so then there's the town center. So we're going to be able to participate in the town center meeting. So we took all the information we got from the group on the 16th, and then we're going to follow-up meetings on December 7th. So we're going to be at the Bethany School Saturday, December 7th at 10 a.m. And so this is actually the current master plan for the town center. So we've been refining on that, and we're going to bring some. I think our plan is to bring back 3 concept plans, which are kind of variations on that. Bring back to the group and talk through those, get everybody's reaction to those plans, and then we'll go away and we'll come back in January or early February to kind of some more final concepts. And so this is all getting to the next phase after all this concept planning and getting kind of the community input is then moving to improvement plans, and then actually when that's done, starting to build the roadways and the end goal is to get the grocery store out there, which we don't have a commitment yet from any grocer, but we want to get them out there as soon as we can. But even if they're not going to come right away, the idea is to get some commercial, some retail out there to get some stuff started in the town center. And then the grocery store may come after that, or with that, we don't know yet. But our plan is to build it and make them come. So, is that the last one? Okay. So that's it. And people always want to know when the grocery store coming or when this is all coming. We don't have a definitive schedule yet, but we do want to bring some more amenities to Mountain House for the community, and just to, it's for the long term. It's going to help Shea Mountain House with sales and lots and everything, and it'll be great for the community. So I'm here if anyone has any questions, and thank you very much.